What if I told you there's a sport where strength meets artistry, where gravity seems to bend to the will of its athletes? A sport where every move tells a story, effortlessly blending power with elegance. This isn't just gymnastics, it's artistic gymnastics. In today's video, we're diving deep into the mesmerizing world of artistic gymnastics. You'll discover how it all began, what separates it from regular gymnastics, and what makes it one of the most captivating sports in the world today. But there's more. Stick with us until the end, and you might just find the inspiration to give it a try yourself. Artistic gymnastics. Just hearing those words brings to mind images of athletes leaping, flipping, and twisting through the air with precision and grace. It's a sport that doesn't just challenge the body, but also the mind. It's about control, agility, and strength. But here's the twist. It's also about expression, creativity, and pushing the limits of what's possible. What sets artistic gymnastics apart from so many other sports is its focus on blending athletic prowess with artistry. You'll see gymnasts spinning through the air, but you'll also see them holding intricate handstands, performing elegant leaps, and showcasing moves that look more like dance than sport. And that's what makes artistic gymnastics so unique. It's not just about athleticism, but about crafting a performance, telling a story with your body. So whether they're twisting through the air or holding a perfect handstand on the beam, gymnasts do more than execute skills. They create art. But to truly understand where artistic gymnastics is today, we need to look back, way back to where it all began. The roots of this incredible sport stretch all the way to ancient Greece. Back then, gymnastics was practiced for physical fitness and entertainment. Even thousands of years ago, humans were fascinated by the idea of pushing their bodies to the limit, perfecting balance, and mastering acrobatic skills. But it wasn't until the 19th century that artistic gymnastics really began to take shape into the sport we know today. Figures like Friedrich Ludwig Jahn, known as the father of gymnastics, helped formalize the sport by creating new equipment and organizing the first gymnastics clubs. Alongside him, Johann Christoph Friedrich Gutsmuth helped define the movements and techniques that would lay the foundation for the future. Fast forward to the 20th century, and artistic gymnastics began to gain international recognition, especially with its inclusion in the Olympic Games. The sport quickly grew in popularity, attracting athletes and fans from all corners of the globe. And as technology and training methods advanced, so did the complexity and artistry of the sport. Today, artistic gymnastics isn't just a competition, it's a global spectacle that leaves audiences breathless. Now let's clear something up. Many people use the term gymnastics to refer to a wide variety of activities. But when we talk about artistic gymnastics, we're talking about something specific. Artistic gymnastics is a discipline of gymnastics that focuses on performing choreographed routines on apparatuses like the vault, beam, bars, and floor. But there's more to gymnastics than just that. Regular gymnastics, on the other hand, encompasses a much broader range of activities. This includes recreational gymnastics, where athletes of all ages and abilities work on basic physical fitness, and other competitive forms like rhythmic gymnastics, trampoline gymnastics, and even acrobatic gymnastics. What makes artistic gymnastics stand out is the combination of technical difficulty and artistic expression. It's not just about hitting a skill perfectly, it's about how fluidly and beautifully you can connect those skills together into a performance. So while regular gymnastics can be about fitness or fun, artistic gymnastics is about turning athleticism into art. Like any competitive sport, artistic gymnastics comes with its own set of rules. But don't think for a second that it's as simple as getting a perfect score. Scoring in artistic gymnastics has evolved over time, and it's no longer just about perfection. In the past, routines were judged on a scale of 1 to 10, with the elusive perfect 10 being the goal. But that system was replaced by a much more dynamic scoring method. Now, gymnasts are awarded two types of scores: a D score for the difficulty of their routine, and an E score for how well they execute it. The final score is a combination of both. But here's where it gets interesting. While the D score rewards gymnasts for performing harder, more complex skills, the E score can quickly drop with even the smallest mistakes. A wobble, a misstep, or a fall off the apparatus can mean major deductions. So while athletes are always trying to push the limits with more difficult skills, they also have to make sure they can perform them flawlessly. In the end, it's about finding that perfect balance between pushing your physical limits and maintaining control, between difficulty and execution. And that's what makes the competition so intense. Now let's talk about the moves. What are the skills that define artistic gymnastics? Some of the most iconic moves in the sport aren't just breathtaking, they're also a testament to the strength, agility, and artistry of the athletes performing them. First, there's the back handspring. This tumbling skill involves a gymnast springing backward onto their hands before pushing off the ground to return to a standing position. It's one of the foundational moves in artistic gymnastics and a staple in many routines. Next up, we have the aerial, which is essentially a cartwheel without hands. It takes incredible balance, body control, and coordination to execute this move smoothly. One wrong step, and you could lose your footing. But when done right, it's simply stunning. And who can forget the split leap? This move is as elegant as it is powerful. Gymnasts leap into the air, extending their legs into a full split, showing off their flexibility and strength. It's a classic example of how artistic gymnastics blends athleticism with artistry. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping move of all is the Yurchenko vault. Named after Soviet gymnast Natalia Yurchenko, this vault involves a round-off onto the springboard, followed by a back handspring onto the vault table, and finishing with a twisting flip in midair. It's one of the riskiest and most difficult moves in artistic gymnastics, and it never fails to wow the crowd. Now that we've talked about the iconic moves, let's take a closer look at the apparatuses gymnasts use to showcase their skills. Artistic gymnastics is divided into two categories, men's and women's gymnastics, and each has its own set of apparatuses. For women, the apparatuses include the vault, the uneven bars, the balance beam, and the floor exercise. The balance beam, for instance, is only 4 inches wide, making it one of the most nerve-wracking pieces of equipment. But it's where gymnasts truly show off their balance and poise. The uneven bars allow gymnasts to swing, flip, and transition between the high and low bars with grace and precision. It's all about timing and strength as gymnasts soar through the air, often with just a split second to catch the bar before continuing their routine. For men, the apparatuses include the floor, the pommel horse, the still rings, the vault, the parallel bars, and the high bar. The still rings are perhaps the most demanding of all, requiring extreme upper body strength and control. Athletes must hold static positions, swing through the air, and perform gravity-defying dismounts. As much as artistic gymnastics is about physical ability, it's also about mental strength. Competing at such a high level requires more than just mastering the skills, it requires mastering the mind. In artistic gymnastics, there's no room for doubt or hesitation. Athletes have only minutes to perform routines they've spent months, sometimes years, perfecting. The pressure can be overwhelming, and one moment of distraction can mean the difference between gold and defeat. But it's not just about avoiding mistakes, it's about resilience. Every gymnast will fall at some point. What matters is how they pick themselves up and finish the routine. This mental toughness is what separates the good from the great. Artistic gymnastics isn't just a sport, it's a way of pushing yourself to be the best version of you. It's about defying gravity, mastering control, and expressing creativity through movement.